Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're returning, having been here before, then thank you very much indeed. And if you're new, well, that's amazing. It's brilliant to have new people joining us all the time, and I can't tell you how happy that makes me. This week we're doing a palette challenge with my lovely friend Teresa Mulhern, who you may know. She's from Ireland. She does lots of reviews. She does, oh well, makeup is in her blood, and if you go to her channel you'll see just how much she's got as well. We wanted to do a challenge together, and it's what we can do using one palette, which is the Beauty Bay Sunset Horizons palette, and the challenge was on. I have, as you know, I have, well, I hope you know if you follow me on my other social media platforms, I have recently been in the wars a bit, and I wanted to do something fun and just something nice with one of my friends to get back into doing makeup again, having not been doing very much of it recently. So if you want to hear the story of how I tried to take on a paving slab with my head and failed dismally, and also see me challenge Teresa with the Beauty Bay Sunset Horizons palette and come up with this, then please do keep on watching. Okay, we're ready to go, and as you can see, the aforementioned palette, I thought I would concentrate a bit more on these colours here, because I haven't really played with them very much. And the one I did before when I was testing and reviewing this palette was mainly sort of like the oranges and the yellows and that sort of thing. So I'm going to first of all put a bit of eyeliner in, and I'm going for a blue eyeliner today. Because most of the colours I'm using are going to be very dark. So this is, excuse me, this is the Kiko eyeliner. There's a Kiko shop in the mall quite near to us, and I do enjoy their colours. I don't go in there terribly often, I don't know why. And I haven't really been in since lockdown, but there we go. So there's the eyeliner, and I'm going to start with well, let's start with the black one, which in this palette is called Midnight. So we'll just put a little bit here. I'm thinking about a halo eye. Just really because why not? And whilst I'm doing it, I think I better tell you the story behind the scar, which you can probably still see here, and the black eyes, which you can definitely still see here. I know you can. No point saying you can't, because you can. So it was, let's see, it will be almost 2 weeks ago when I'm recording this. I was out doing a little run walk with my friend Sarah. Sarah, hello if you're watching, and thanks. And we were doing, I think it was about 4 miles, 4.5 miles, I don't know, something like that. And we were practically at the end. This is almost more galling than the thing itself, but we were almost at the end, and we were coming down this very residential crescent. We'd been up in some sort of like woody parts, and we were fine, and we were coming down this residential bit, and it's all paving slabs down there, not sort of like tarmac, just paving slabs, and I caught my right toe, on a paving slab that just happened to be sticking up a bit more than all the other ones, and I did a dive which was pretty much worthy of a Premiership footballer, I think. It was so fast though. It was so fast I couldn't even get my hands down, and I basically headbutted the pavement. So I'm lying there in a pool of blood. I'm just going to take the next colour in the palette, which is called Canyon. There we go. It's a sort of brown, which, as you know, I'm not the most keen on brown colours, but I just want to blend this black out, really, and we'll move on to some more exciting colours in a minute. Anyway, so I'm lying in a pool of blood, wondering what happened, and poor Sarah, she must have just had a conniptious fit, because I haven't seen her for so long, and there I am, and bleeding from the head profusely on the ground in front of her. Just blending this canyon a bit more. And wouldn't you know, there's some lovely people in the world. Did you know that? Well, I'm here to tell you that there are. This lovely chap called Scott, hello Scott if you're watching, and his wife Jo, lovely couple, were across the road, and they heard my head hit the pavement with a tremendous thok, and Scott came running over, wanting to help, make sure I was okay. Jo came out with a camping chair for me eventually, and some blankets, but Sarah was calling the ambulance, and I'm just putting on some Twilight, which is the dark purple. And the people at the ambulance wouldn't speak to Sarah, they had to speak to me apparently. So I'm speaking to the operator, who is clearly going through a script and not listening to a word I'm saying. I'm telling her that I'm on the pavement in a residential area, exactly where I am. And you know what she says? Is it COVID safe? I mean, I know they have to ask these things, but it was just getting me more and more and more angry. Then she was asking me what my temperature was. I said, I don't know, I've been running and now I'm lying on a cold pavement. And I just got crosser and crosser, and in the end Sarah took the phone off me, which was probably a good thing. So she then very kindly phoned my husband, who rushed over in a taxi, and everyone was just so nice and so sweet, and Scott and Jo were bringing me blankets, as I say, and a chair, and paracetamol, and just to make sure I'm okay. Half an hour goes by, I'm getting very cold, because over there it's the sun goes down behind the hills over there, and that area gets quite cold once the sun's gone down. And so my husband, lovely Jonathan, rings the ambulance people and says, what's the story? Is it going to be here soon? Da 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 da. Oh, says the girl, didn't I say it was going to be about 2 hours, possibly 3? No, he says, and closes the call. So she only rings him back and says, I hadn't finished speaking to you. Yes, you have, he says, and lots of other words, and put the phone down on her again. So everybody starts drifting away, because there were some other people from some other houses, a very nice man who said he'd caught it on CCTV but wouldn't let me see it. And Scott says, well, I'm going to drive you up the hospital myself, which he does, bless his heart. And we get to the hospital, and of course, because of the whole COVID thing, they won't let Jonathan in. So I have to sit in the waiting room, blood pouring from my head, wrapped up in Scott and Joe's blanket, and my obviously only wearing my running gear, for about an hour or so before I get triaged. Nurse says, oh, you're going to need some stitches, you'll have to wait for the doctor. And I am unimpressed by this, but what can you do? I say I want to go home. No, he says, wait for the doctor. So I wait for another pretty much hour, during which time they let in couples. I was trying to overhear how come they were allowed in, but I couldn't. They let in drunken idiots who they know by their first name and keep telling him to go home, but he keeps refusing. Finally see the doctor, who says, oh, who told you needed stitches? He puts steri strips on this here and sends me off with instruction to not use any screens for 24 hours and not be left alone for 48. So I try ringing a taxi using the free phone in the hospital foyer, but nobody answers there. And I got helped by a very nice lady, again, you see, lovely people, who was there with her daughter, and she let me use her phone to phone a taxi. And I got home, and there was Jonathan waiting desperately to see what had happened, and that's basically the story. So unimpressed with the treatment provided, in terms of time, in terms of waiting, in terms of the fact that I'd had quite a bang to the head and was sitting in a waiting room trying to catch the blood as it fell. But hey ho, these things are sent to try us. I'm just basically blending these, the black and the purple and the canyony brown, to see how it's going to look. I'm not sure that you're getting the full loveliness of this purple, so I'm just filling in the black a bit more, and then I'll do a bit more purple. Yes, so anyway, that was the story of my scar. It's, as I say, it's been 2 weeks and 5 days, and it's now completely healed. I saw the nurse on Tuesday, different nurse at my GP, and she was quite impressed at how it healed. But then I am a fast healer because it's my sparkly vegan blood, you see, heals very quickly. I told you that's what my oncologist said, didn't I? That it's being vegan that helps you heal quickly, because you haven't got all these nasty toxins and things in your blood that stops you healing very well. Anywho, let me get a fluffy brush. There we go. I might just put a tiny bit of pink on here, just to, oh, not quite as tiny as I thought it was. You see, this is the thing with these new Beauty Bay palettes. They really are so pigmented that you just put a tiny bit on. I literally just touched my brush on the surface of it there, and it goes mental. So I'm just going to do this, try and blend it out. And I took the rest of the week off work because I just didn't feel like myself at all. couldn't concentrate on anything. Obviously on the Tuesday couldn't really do very much. Headache, not just a headache, but a bone headache. So yeah, that was horrible. The black eyes were, if you follow me on Instagram, have a look at the pictures of the black eyes, because they were awful. My nose went black and swelled up. It looked so much worse a couple of days after it happened than when it actually happened. Haven't been running since, but watch this space, because I will. And yeah, it's all a story. Let me just curl my eyelashes a bit. Stand by. I'm just gonna go in with, I'm gonna use the blue, because the last time I used this palette I did gold in the centre, and I'm gonna do blue this time. So I'm gonna put some of the blue matte, which is called Deep. I'm just going to put that in the middle there. Then I'm going to put the blue shimmery, glittery colour on top. And shall I do it with my finger? Oh yes, I think I will. There, look at that. That's gorgeous, isn't it? And that one's called Oasis. That really is lovely. So in terms of it being a sunset, I think it's a very stormy sunset. You know how it is when you sometimes get a tiny bit of sunshine coming through. And of course the other thing about smacking your face into the pavement is that I haven't been able to do very many makeup looks. So I've just been on my social medias going to people, wait for me, don't go. I'm still here. I may be wounded, but I am unbowed and I will come back. And this is the first sort of like full foundation look that I've done, because obviously I didn't want to put foundation where the cut was. And I did last week's video with a headband on, as you saw, I jolly well hope, because I just didn't want to risk getting foundation and powder and that sort of thing in the cut. And of course it's highly amusing to all that I am now Harry Potter's aged auntie, but why not? Anyway, let's see where we're going next. Where we're going next is to get some of a colour called, what's that word? Stargazing, and put a little bit of that on the edges of the blue just to blend it in to the purple. This is a very nice shimmer. It's not sort of like as in your face as the blue colour, but it's sort of an amethysty type of deal. I think that's rather nice, so we're just blending that in there. Blending that in there. And well, I know I said I wasn't going to use the gold, but we'll have a bit of gold in the inner corner. Blue and gold, okay. Yeah, that's not so bad. And then I will just go back with my quite dense fluffy brush, which is that one, and just try and blend this a bit. So you'll have to forgive me if this isn't the greatest look in the world, but I've been a bit out of practice. And that's what it all is all about, practice. Oh, got my hair cut. Lovely Jonathan cuts my hair for me. And sometimes misses a bit, but that's not a problem. Right, so I'm just going to put some eyeliner on. Where is it? It is here. It is my NYX vinyl eyeliner. So bear with while I put this on. Actually, no, I think I'll put a little bit of something extra first. Now, I know it's supposed to be a one palette challenge, but I do think that because Teresa likes me, she won't mind if I just put a tiny bit of extra on. And the tiny bit of extra is that lovely Barry M glitter that I know everybody likes. There we go, with the glitter glue. And here we go with the glitter. Yay! This is the Glitz and Glam glitter, which is like, is it Glitz and Glam? No, sorry, Pick and Glitz. I beg your pardon, Pick and Glitz. It's quite big, quite chunky, but that's not a bad thing because you can see it when it falls, and it's not likely to get in your eye because it is so big. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of that there. It does get everywhere else, of course, on the table, on my lap, in the rug, you know, all the places where you wouldn't want it to be. And I do think that, there we go, it does add a bit of, well, there we go, a bit of something. There, how's that? Makeup is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a good time and fun. So that's that. Right, now, as I shed glitter every time I blink, bear with while I do my eyeliner, and I will be right back with you. And I'm back from the land of unsymmetrical eyeliners. Well, it could be worse. I'm just going to put a lip on, and then I'll go off camera and do my lashes, because this is one of the lovely, what's it called, Velveteens by Lime Crime, that lovely Ari, hi Ari, sent me. And this one is called Blood Moon. And I'm just going to put this on because I think this is nice and dark, and it will go with this stormy sunset we're doing. They smell like vanilla cake. Right, so I'm just going to go and put my lashes on, a bit of lower lash mascara, and I'll be right back. So here is the finished look. I hope you like it. It's a stormy sunset, a little bit more dark and menacing, I hope, than many of the sunset looks that we see, but I like it, and it's got that sort of glamorous, threatening nature to it, if you know what I mean. Thank you for sticking with this video. Thank you for Teresa for suggesting a palette challenge, and I hope you catch up with her on her channel and see what she does with the palette. Obviously I'll put all the links below and in the other places where you put things. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and of course take care of each other, but most of all, most importantly, and without falling on your faces, stay strange.